Assalamu alaikum everyone, my name is Muhammad Ali Mir and I'm from the Office of Advancement at LUMS. Welcome to another podcast today in which we will be discussing the PhD Management Sciences program. I'm joined today with Dr. Ghazal Mir Zulfiqar. Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Ghazal.
Walaikum assalam. Thank you so much for inviting me here.
Let's get started. So we've actually divided this podcast into multiple sections and we're going to be starting with talking about the program. So Dr. Ghazal, can you share some overview of the program, the entire program, and who is actually for, who should pursue this program?
Right. So the PhD program at the business school in LUMS is, it's a 4-year program. Those students may take longer. We use the American model here, not the European model. So we have a year and a half of intense coursework, and this is a full-time program. They will have to pause their careers and jobs. The program is meant for those that really want to work in academia, that have a desire to contribute to public policy, that would like a career in think tanks, national, international, as our alumni show us. This is the program. This is also a program, since we got the AACSB accreditation, this is a program that is at par with some of the best PhD management programs in the world.
And is there any age limit for these programs as well?
There is no age limit as long as you are ready to work hard, theorize, and enjoy research.
When we talk about academia and research, how does the curriculum balance the research aspects along with the real-life applications?
Right. So the PhD program is unlike other graduate programs at the business school. It's not like an MBA, executive MBA, because the focus is on research, producing high quality research. But of course, we like to contextualize all the problems that our students study, that our faculty study, to our present context, to our contemporary context in Pakistan, in the region, and across the globe.
How is our program set apart from the other programs, in similar programs in this region as well?
Right. So in Pakistan, I can very clearly tell you there is no other PhD management program that even comes a close second. In the region also, we are in collaboration with our peers and colleagues in India, in the Middle East and South Asia, but also across Europe, Australia, and North America. And our faculty are, they are the top researchers, recognized, awarded across the globe. Every year we present our work in international conferences, and so do our students, and we regularly win research awards. That's not something that many business schools can claim. So that's one thing. The other thing is the rigor and depth of our training. So many programs follow the European model, where there isn't such an emphasis on the curriculum. Okay. So in the European model, for instance, when you start a PhD, you start your research immediately. But the North American model expects fairly significant training before you start your research, and that's what we do. So we have very strong quantitative, qualitative research method training. We have very strong theoretical training. We have 3 streams that we currently offer, and that is organizational behavior and strategy. We have finance, and we have operations management. So we have faculty dedicated to each of these streams, and they are pushing the boundaries of research in each of these areas. And their own research, as well as the research of people across the stream, is what our students are exposed to. They get to talk to and even collaborate with international faculty in their area of interest.
So this brings us to our next section, which is research and academia. You talked about multiple streams. Can you tell me about the emerging trends that we have in PhD management sciences and what LUMS is currently focusing on?
So one of the things that we really have focused on is the interdisciplinarity of our different streams. For instance, we have students in operations management that are also very, very, they have expert knowledge on organizational behavior and strategy, and they are merging these streams of knowledge. Because that's what our faculty do. And that is what the academia globally has moved to. So interdisciplinarity is the name of the game. And that's what we are, I think that we do this quite well.
And can you talk about the current research projects our students are working on? Is there any significant project you have in mind?
When someone's finished their thesis, we have a public defense. And that's a real highlight because we see the fascinating but really important, critical, crucial problems, management problems that our students have taken up. So we have students that are currently working with our own faculty as well as faculty from Stanford on problems in the spice supply chain in Pakistan, in how lead is being used across sectors without proper standards. So that's an interesting project. We have students working on gender ratios in engineering. We have students working on the walled city. So you can see how transdisciplinary this program is. You wouldn't really think about working on the walled city in a management program, but that's exactly how
transdisciplinary the entire program is. Well, this leads us to our next section, which is called Faculty and Mentorship. So can you describe how this program helps build a bond between the faculty and the students who are applying for this program?
Yes. So the supervisor is the single most important individual in a PhD student's life. And we take that very seriously. So do our faculty. So our faculty who teach in the program, who supervise the program, they are very, very invested in our PhD students. The interaction begins even before they join the program, during the long interview process, and during the coursework. And so during the coursework also, there is a lot of engagement. When students write their papers, faculty help them publish those papers even during coursework. And then after the coursework's over, that's when the supervision begins. And that is a time of real intense work together. So we have PhD committees of 3 faculty with 1 main supervisor and 2 secondary supervisors. And this team of supervisors, particularly the main supervisor, work together with the student for the rest of their PhD journey. They present papers in international conferences together. They write for the best academic journals together. They help with international collaborations. For instance, I mentioned Stanford faculty. So one of our PhD supervisors went to Stanford for his sabbatical. When he came back, he engaged his own PhD students with those faculty. So you can see that this is very unusual for a program of this nature in the region.
So how does the program ensure a strong mentor-mentee relationship between the students and the faculty?
So our faculty are very, very engaged with our PhD students because they themselves are top researchers in the field, and they want to train top researchers in the field. I mentioned to you our students that are working with Stanford professors, and this happened when one of our faculty went to Stanford on sabbatical. On their return, they engaged their PhD students in a project that they were working with Stanford faculty, and now we have this amazing team, multidisciplinary and across country, across institution team that is working on such an important problem in Pakistan. And so this supervision lasts until the end of a PhD student's journey here in LUMS, but also beyond, as supervisors continue to write, publish, and present their research with their students.
And so does the supervisor choose his own student or during the research statement process of the application?
Right, so that is the UK model in which you have to pitch your idea to the supervisor, to a prospective supervisor at the time of application. We do not follow this model. We follow the North American model where a student finishes their coursework and then chooses their supervisor. So whenever we get queries from prospective applicants about supervisors, we tell them to wait, because the supervisory relationship will begin once coursework begins. And this is a mutual selection process. So students will go and ask supervisors that they're interested in, and this is how I call this a matchmaking process.
And if you want to get enrolled into this program, let me just tell you the step-by-step process in which you can get enrolled into the PhD program at the Suleman School of Business at LUMS. So step one, you need to obviously create your application. You need to go on our website and create an application, and after which you will have to submit a couple of documents along with details about your profile. So for the documents required, let me just tell you, you have to first start off with your academic record. You need to have at least 18 years of education to apply for this program. And on top of that, you need to have a CGPA of 3.0 or above. Moving on, you need to also give an admission test, either the GRE or the GMAT exam. You would also need to give a research statement and 2 letters of recommendation as well. And there is also an interview process at the end of, if you are shortlisted at the end of the process as well. Can you explain more about what the interview entails for a student?
Yes, so the interview for a PhD applicant is typically very long. It's typically from 45 minutes to an hour, though I've also seen longer interviews, where we have a panel of senior faculty in the stream where the applicant has applied. So one thing to keep in mind is that you should be very clear about the stream that you're applying to. Sometimes we get applicants telling us that they just ticked a box. You can't do that. You have to know whether it is finance or organizational behavior and strategy or operations management that is your field of interest. And in the interview, you're asked technical questions, but also we want to see the seriousness of purpose and motivation and resilience.
So it's not something you can finish in a week. You have to spend a lot more time on it. You have to build your profile and you have to present it in front of a panel of interviewers as well. It's a fully funded program. Can you shed some more light on how the fully funded program works and how it helps our students actually?
Right. So at this point, we offer 75,000 rupees a month, which is meant to pay for room and board, lodging, monthly expenses, private expenses, because all tuition is waived. All fees are waived. Students, if they are going to live in the dorms, then they will have to pay for the dorms and the cafeteria food, but that's all there is to it. Apart from that, so that is for a period of 4 years. If the applicant is unable to finish their PhD in 4 years, then even though there may be a waiver of the fees and tuition, but they will no longer be given a stipend. So it's in the interest of the student to finish as soon as possible. Apart from that, we also offer TA-ship, RA-ship opportunities during coursework. After coursework, if the applicant shows, the student shows potential, then we also allow them to teach our undergraduate students.
Do you have any particular student in mind who has created an impact in Pakistan or outside of Pakistan?
Yes, so I will like to mention Shoaib Haq, who is one of our earlier graduates. He taught in South Korea. He taught in Karachi. He taught in South Korea, the university in Seoul, and then he got a position in Newcastle University in the UK, which is one of the top 5 universities in terms of research output. He is right now in another university in the UK. I'm forgetting the name, but he is certainly, in terms of his research output, the amount of recognition that he gets in the field, he is one of our stars.
And when did he graduate?
So he graduated in 2015. So it's been a while, right? But then we have some amazing women graduates we have Maria Mohsen, who is also teaching in the UK. We have some faculty in IBA Karachi, IBA Sakkar, who are now at the top. So IBA Karachi, the director of master's program, the ex-director of the MBA program, those are our graduates. We also have our own associate dean of academics at SDSB, at our business school, who is a graduate of this program.
Do you have any advice for these applicants who want to apply for this program but maybe are a little bit hesitant to apply?
I would really like to talk about not just that, but also who is the program for and who is the program not for. Because a PhD takes a lot out of you in terms of not just money lost, wages that you didn't earn during this period, but it also requires a lot of emotional labor on the part of your family. Everyone around you is making a sacrifice when you're doing a PhD. So you should think very carefully before you apply.
So there is an opportunity cost.
There is a huge opportunity cost for PhD. So only those that are extremely serious about pursuing academic careers or careers in policy that require PhD should think of going forward with this. At the same time, we are always looking for bright ideas. We're looking for those willing to work hard. We're looking for those that have a real passion for research and for solving real-world problems.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Ghazal, for being on this podcast with us. I think your words may have helped a lot of potential applicants in applying. And if you would like to apply, let me just tell you the process again. You have to submit your application on our website. And after that, let me just tell you the admission deadlines. The admission deadlines for the PhD management program is April 15th. April 16th is the last date on which you can submit all of your documents. And then the commencement of classes will be happening in August. But before that, your application results will be happening from July 31st onwards, if I'm correct.
Right.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ghazal, for being on this podcast. And Allah Hafiz, everyone.